What is up? Welcome in. Shout out to everybody listening. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. Welcome to First to the Floor. Welcome to Sam LaFrance of How About Them Celtics. The Boston Celtics 2024-2025 season is over. Sam, how are you feeling?
Good to be here. I just hit a very timely lag spike, as I tend to do. But happy to be talking to Jake so much today. Sad for the circumstances. Very sad, sad way to go out.
Sad way to go out. I had resigned myself to this after game 4. And once Tatum went down, and you go down 3-1 in the series. But without Tatum, coming back in the series did not feel possible. Like, winning game 5, if Tatum was still playing, you're like, okay, yeah, we can fucking we can come back. We can just win one. We probably would have been favored in game 6 if Tatum had still been healthy. Like the Knicks were only favored by 2.5. And boy, if you bet on the Knicks in this game, you are feeling good right now. Let me know if I'm still a bit quiet. If you're listening live here, I turned my microphone up a little bit. But yeah, so that game 5 win, honestly, gave me closure on the season, made me proud of everybody on the team, and let me kind of just wither away, or just I let the loss wash over me as we let another offensive rebound, I'm pretty sure, just went in for the Knicks.
Yeah, I mean, just an absolute shit kicking they had. But I think taking game 5 and enjoying it is the right move. I think it felt like not a love letter to the fans, because it definitely wasn't, but it was a really cool, like, everybody come together and support and show their pride for the team after such a tough turn, right?
I just cracked a beer here.
Necessary.
If you were here the other night, we're not going to be doing a 3-hour long Jake Gets Drunk stream, but I feel like we did our morning as a community the other night when Tatum went down. But yeah, I think in the aftermath of this game, I've been a bit more reflective after another hour of talking to you, and it's like, man, I guess winning the title is really hard, and you don't know why it's going to be hard. I guess when you're going through the season, you can kind of feel it, how it's just like you can understand why these guys aren't quite as locked in as they were in the previous season. Obviously, you don't have Porzingis for more games this season. Jalen misses more time. He gets injured at the end of the season. Drew misses more time. Sam Hauser missed more time at the beginning of the season. He ended up actually playing 70 games. But then I guess you have got to factor in mystery illnesses for your star big man as well. Al Horford's another year older. You see what happens to the Cavs. You see what happens to even the Warriors with Steph Curry. Like, winning these titles is really, really hard. And when I think about this era, because I think we have to kind of accept that maybe this version, this iteration, I can't call the era dead, because as long as Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown are still on the team, the Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum era will continue to live on. But this little iteration, the 21/22 season through this year, a finals, 57 wins in a conference finals, even if it ended in painful fashion against the Heat. A title season where you just blast through the entire league, 61 wins, and whimper to go out in the second round. But a 4-year stretch of a shitload of winning and a shitload of good memories at the same time.
Yeah, it is kind of weird. And like the sadness from the press conferences tonight felt, well, sad. Yeah, it was kind of sad to see everybody so sad to see the season come to an end.
I agree.
I mean, this has been a really fun time to be a fan, to be involved. Like, I'm very fortunate that, during this window where the team's been so well, I've gotten to contribute and be a part of, this channel, have my own channel, be a part of Celtics blog, be a part of Hardwood Houdini, like get to be somebody who covers the team and have such a great team to cover. And, we talked about it on the instant reaction, like, can't believe, like, this is the second round exit. Like, thought it was Eastern Conference Finals floor. That's what it felt like all year. And it stinks that it's over because this is a really...
There we go. That's our first one of the show.
It's going to be a battle today. My plane is fucking crashing over here today. I'm so sorry. I'm like embarrassed. I feel so bad. I haven't had lag in like 2 months. My power went out yesterday, and I've just been bodied since.
It is what it is. Sam's internet is going out like the Boston Celtics here in 2025. Sadly, I thought we've got a few of the quotes here, and I feel like Jalen summed up exactly how Sam LaFrance and a lot of Celtics fans are feeling today. Jaylen Brown, per J King, losing to the Knicks feels like death, but I was always taught that there's life after death, and Jaylen Brown, I think, is kind of the guy for this moment, and I think tuning into Jaylen Brown's mentality is a good way to deal with what just happened to the Boston Celtics this year. Like the way that he ended 2023 by saying he let the city down all the way back to when he first got drafted. And I'm going to die for this city. Like, he takes this shit really seriously, and he gave us like a 10 out of 10 A+, like a moment for Jaylen Brown in Game 5. It was not a moment in a good way tonight for the Boston Celtics, but you can't fault Jaylen Brown for how much effort he played with in this series and without Jason Tatum tonight. Like, 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 turnovers. He tried, man, and it felt like he emptied the tank. 6 fouls, minus 30, but he emptied the tank. He emptied the clip, and he just didn't have anything left. He didn't have anything left, and this team didn't have anything left. It felt like Pritchard, Derek, and Drew Holiday combined for 0 points. I want to say for the first quarter, the first half. Pritchard's 11 points all came once the game was over, which is a little bit on brand. No, I shouldn't take shots at Pritchard, but I was like, bro, now you're cooking. Now you're 5 for 10. But I don't have it in me. I'm not someone that's gonna watch this game tonight and be like, get this guy out of here, yada yada. Sure, is there a Cooper Flag trade? Is there a Giannis trade? Sure, but I'm not someone that's like putting together Houston Rockets, Jabari Smith, Reed Shepherd, Cam Whitmore packages for Jaylen Brown. He is an All-NBA, All-Star, Finals MVP, and he tried to gut through these playoffs with this knee thing. He was never the same this season. And after the knee injury, and it wasn't his best year scoring-wise, but he was still good this year, made the All-Star team, and I just appreciate his contributions.
I think that is a very good way to put it because, listen, it was not the best ever Jalen year, but I think it was a really good Jalen character year. I think there was a lot of adversity he had to deal with, and he tried to power through the best he could. Like, the whole theme of April was, Jalen, please stop playing games. And he was like, no, I'm not gonna. I want to keep playing. And the reason that he was giving to why he was going to play is because whatever injury he had was not going away, and he wanted to make sure he was best prepared to play through it in the playoffs because he wanted to help the team win. Jason goes down with the Achilles, and he gives us that Game 5 on Wednesday. And it was something special. He dives into the bench. Like, he has this incredible energy about him. And it was like a weird, like, all-time Celtic moment. Not really. It's hard to say that with this franchise, but, like, in this era of, like, moments you think of, like, that's a moment, like, people that like this iteration of the team that we feel like might be coming to an end, but not really, are going to remember. That was an inspired performance, in an emotional spot. And he's somebody who has prided himself on being an emotional leader on this team. Like, there was a day, I don't remember what the game was. I think they might have lost. The fire alarm went off. It wasn't game 2. Like, it was before. Like, it happened again this year.
The fire alarm was game
It was,
1,
like, right before they got Torrey Craig. Like, it was around that time of year.
Right.
And Jalen was talking at media scrum, and he just, like, casually dropped something about being captain. Or, like, he embraces being a captain. Something like that. And Bob Bannock did a great job of writing up a piece on the captaincy piece of the Celtic history for The Ringer. He did a spot on there and did it. And Jalen is such a good fit, and I think he has really good leadership qualities. I think he expects a lot out of himself. He's certainly not perfect. He's reckless at times. There are times you just, like, slam your desk, fist goes on the desk, whatever you want to do to get your frustrations out when he spins and turns the ball over. But I think there is something really great in there, and I think that's why you got such strong playoff performances from him last year, which people have all of a sudden forgotten. Like, he was conference finals MVP for a reason. He was excellent in those moments.
Perfect. I think he's about to stop speaking. Jaylen Brown has been giving us really big moments for his entire career. He's not perfect, but go through and look at the players around the NBA that are in that 15 to 25 range. J-Dub is going to make the All-NBA team for the Thunder. And I was in a playback room earlier today, and they asked me if I'm willing to trade Jordan Walsh and Baylor Shireman for J-Dub. Like, these players that are in the 15 to 25 range are never going to be perfect. Jamal Murray, the playoff riser, he is very inconsistent. Like, there's a very short list of guys that are consistent in the playoffs to the point where, like, we're talking about the Tatums and even the Shays and the Jokic's have had their struggles in the playoffs. The playoffs are really fucking hard. And going all the way back to Tatum's rookie season, where Hayward snaps his ankle and Kyrie ends his season with a knee injury, Jalen and Jason lead us with Horford to the conference finals against LeBron. Jalen was fantastic. And in that Bucks series was like his coming out party in the playoffs. He's had a ton of big moments in the playoffs. It's really hard to be good in the playoffs. And last season, he was a fucking monster. And I think Tatum deserved to be either or and conference finals MVP or finals MVP. But Jalen deserved those awards too. Like, he got those awards for a reason. And you go through this odyssey with the Jays, with the Kyrie era, the bubble collapse, well, not collapse, but the bubble into the following season where you lose Horford, or you've already lost Horford, and you have Tyson Thompson as your starting big man. He's been, like, there the entire time, and you learn through this, like, how hard it is to win a title because you have these gut-wrenching losses to the Warriors and the Heat, and he comes through for you in the following season and is just, like, guarding Luka Doncic and dropping 30 and making clutch plays to Derek White in the corner against the Pacers. And, like, he wants to be a Celtic legend on top of all of that, right? Like, I think expecting perfection from these guys, everybody always, I think, not everybody, some people always think that the grass is always greener, but having a dude like this that is constantly working to get better for the team, you can't ask for much more.
No, and that was a big trend in Jalen's development. Like, every single season he was coming back, and something new was there. It was always happening, like, rookie year to next year and so on. They have that great run in 2018, and his development was a big part of that because he was able to help the team along. He's become this all-NBA level guy. He wins the awards last year, and I don't really know if he gets enough credit for the type of player he is. I think this was a good moment for everyone to be reminded about that because, listen, when Tatum hurt his Achilles, like, I was obviously in, like, a shock state, but I was like, man, like, that might be the end of Jalen here. Like, they might get rid of him. They might trade him for something to, you know, not bridge anything, but it's like, if you have Tatum and Tatum's still going to be great and you can get a tank season, then draft a rookie that's, like, a really, like, let's just say it's AJ from Brockton, right? He gets drafted by the Celtics, and it's like that's Tatum's running mate. Then he can hand the keys to him when he's done. Like, and you kind of like start thinking about the way Celtic City was put together, where it just felt like it was always a passing of a torch. And it's like, well, that might be the way they set up the next one. Jalen's got the torch too. He's holding the torch. You can't just trade him. And big respect to him. He was obviously gutted today, man. That sucks.
Yeah.
Sucks for him.
Yeah, and I love the way that he put it, man. Losing to the Knicks feels like death. Strongly agree.
It does.
I think
it sucks.
I was gonna say no one feels that more than Sam France.
I hate him, man. I like Tyler Kolek. He's from my state. I like Andrew Claudio. He's the man. He does work with us.
Knicks Film School. Shout
That's
out.
it.
Good guys.
Yeah.
But fuck, man. New York sucks to go down to those guys. No question. Like I'm already in the bargaining stage. I'm like I need the Thunder. I need the OKC Thunder to win tomorrow. I just don't think that the Nuggets can survive multiple more rounds. Like Aaron Gordon's already got this hamstring thing. Like how much of a Herculean effort can Jokic really do? Can I expect him to be able to beat the Knicks in the finals if he somehow gets through? That feels insane that he's going to be able to continue to carry this team. I can't have the Knicks winning the title, which means I need the Thunder to win. Yeah, we can't have it. I think we need the Thunder to win tomorrow against, or whatever day it is, against the Nuggets, because I think that they'll get through it, or whatever, Timberwolves or whoever. But the Thunder specifically have like this gear to them where I think that they'll smoke. I just can't have the Knicks. It doesn't matter. I'm rambling. It doesn't matter. Can't have the Knicks win the fucking title. Go Pacers. That's for sure. But yeah, Jalen. Yeah, I'm not going to be down on him. He played through this injury. I've got a couple other comments here. So. The last one from Jalen here. I know Boston. It looks gloomy right now, obviously with JT being out now, us ending the year. But it's a lot to look forward to. I want the city to feel excited about that. This is not the end. Yeah, man. Like, Game 5, Game 6 was bad. This team is still going to be good. And there's obviously a lot of questions surrounding about what the team's going to look like. But I think this team's going to still have Jaylen Brown, Derek White on it, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Luke Cornett, maybe Al Horford. We can talk a little bit about the future here, but I'll ask you this. Of Jaylen, I don't know. Who do you think's off the team to start the 2025-2026 season?
Drew, sadly. Love Drew. I don't think Drew gets enough love just because he's not asked to do anything here. He has like the job in the office that like you kind of need him, but he doesn't have to do a lot of work day to day. So people kind of forget he works there sometimes.
But if he's off sick, you're like, fuck.
You're like, oh man, why do I have so many emails? That's him.
Yeah.
But he's incredible at what he does. He was an incredible competitor. He had really great playoff moments last year. He was a big part of why they swept the Pacers. He was huge in Game 2 of the finals. Like, I think a lot of people forget about how great he can be, and it's going to really be a big loss to lose him. And the reason why I'm saying him first, it is what it is, rough day. But the reason why I say him first is because someone's actually going to want him. The contract isn't great in the long term, for what it's worth. And this is probably the time to move off of him. Because if you keep him another season, you run the risk that he's really not great. And then you have to give up stuff to get rid of him. It's not good. Porzingis, probably gone. Probably because do you know if anybody wants him with the health stuff? That's the big question mark. He said in the locker room today, he's like, I got no idea what's going on. I got to rest.
About that.
And then Hauser, see you later.
Oh,
not even out of spite. He just makes like $10 million, and that's an easy, like, I don't know. Maybe they like Shireman enough to. He's not a sharpshooter. He's not a catch and shoot guy. Like he can be a little bit, but he's not Hauser. Like I'm not pretending he is, and it's not like a 1-to-1 replacement. But like that, if they're looking to shed salary, I think that's an expendable salary.
They do share one thing in common. That's for sure.
That's true.
For sure. That's for sure. Don't think it makes. If the right deal's there for a bunch of these guys. The right deal is there. I just don't really get the Hauser stuff because it's like when you're trying to build the team, he only makes. I think the reason to keep him is his salary, not the opposite. Like he only makes $10 million. So if you trade him for someone that makes $4 million or $6 million, like you're actually not saving that much. So I don't think. And then if Tatum comes back, you need guys that actually don't make that much money on the team. So I think it makes sense to keep Hauser. Horford's going to be interesting. I don't think it matters a huge deal as far as like wins and losses long term necessarily. I think it's just more of a sentimental thing. Like it would be nice to have him around, obviously, and it would be good for the vibes in a season where you don't have Tatum. Do we have to also lose Horford? I don't know. I think he's going to play. Now, is there going to be? I think there will be a negotiation where it's like you have to play on the minimum or we can't keep you. I think that's and it's not. If Tatum was healthy, maybe this would be different, but we know we're not winning the title probably, and we can't justify giving you $8 million because that's going to cost us $80 million. You're on the minimum. We love you. Your jersey's going in the rafters. In my opinion, that's where it should go. Someone who turned up tonight, 4 for 7, 2 for 4 from 3. Struggled on the boards tonight. But
He's
I
old,
think...
man.
Yeah, man. And I don't know how much. I think he's worth more than the minimum still. Definitely, especially like on a good team as like your backup big. But I don't think he wants to leave. Ian Horford's become Deuce Tatum. I don't know when Ian goes to school. We've covered this. But is Deuce washed? Is Ian taking the torch?
Yeah. He is quite like the little mascot they got. He's the best. Yeah. That kid bleeds green. And honestly, I kind of forgot about that whole wrinkle to it. I feel like there's a world that Ian Horford doesn't let Al Horford leave the Celtics.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. Like I don't really know what his next move is, seriously. Cuz
is he going to leave Boston and go somewhere else?
I think he wants to play still. He got his championship. Like, does he need to ring chase? He probably wants to compete at a high level. The Eastern Conference is probably going to suck next year, so who's going to say the Celtics aren't going to be able to compete as it is? Not to say they're going to win or, like, they might get to this point next year and lose. Who knows what happens? They might be able to sell him enough to stay. It's hard for me to imagine him moving his family and his 5 kids to another city to play 1 or 2 years. Like, I don't know if he wants to do that. But I'm sure he's going to speak tomorrow. I think there's going to be an availability at the Auerbach Center, so maybe they'll hear from him then. I would hate to see him leave. He's one of my favorites. I think he means a lot to the franchise, to be honest with you. I think they touched on it in the Celtic City thing, or I heard it somewhere else, where he was the first black free agent to come sign for the Celtics, and it was a really big deal because he was like, yeah, it's actually cool to play there. So I'm going to go play there.
It is cool to play here. I agree, Al Horford. The fact that he has the title is a big deal, I think, in this scenario. It's
no Larry?
Yeah, you got the Lowry. Like, he's got the college titles. He's got the championship title, like the NBA title. Like, what does title number 2 do for him on a team where he does, like a new team where he's playing a new role? He could definitely do it, but I think Al Horford knows as much as anybody. Doesn't matter where you go, unless you're going to like the Kevin Durant. Does the Oklahoma City Thunder trade for Giannis and pair him, and then Al Horford comes off the bench for the Thunder? Like, Al Horford knows better than anybody that there are no guaranteed titles. You know, like, the most guaranteed a title has ever been was the Kevin Durant Warriors. And even seeing the Thunder this season, right? They're in a Game 7 against the Denver Nuggets. Like, these things are not a for sure thing. So he knows that better than anybody. So my prediction is that he stays on a minimum. We'll see. But they're going to be good still. Like, they're not going to be playing lottery basketball. Like, in the aftermath of the Tatum thing, like, I talked about the stealth tank and whatnot, but...
Oh, yeah.
Cavs will be fantastic again. Knicks will be good. Pacers will be good. Pistons will be good. Magic will be good. That's 5 teams. And it's like the Bucks, are they, even with Giannis, if he doesn't leave, they have no Dame and they probably trade Giannis. So you've got the 6th seed, you're battling for play-in spot. Like they're going to be a pain in the ass to play all season long. They're going to be the team where we got to beat the Celtics without Tatum. And then the Celtics are going to make you earn the win every single night. Jalen, Derek, Hauser, Pritchard, Cornette, Baylor, and Al Horford as your top 6. Like, are they going to win 40 games? Could they win 46 games in the East? Maybe. And it's going to be like good enough where you don't want to blow your brains out because you're the fucking Washington Wizards, but you can respect yourself as a competitor still if you stay with the Boston Celtics. And then there's just a world where like Baylor Scheinman pops or Walsh pops or the rookie you draft this year pops, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, this team's just still good and we're going to be like the 5, 6 seed, 7 seed maybe. And Tatum, and then there's like the sprinkle of the magic of Tatum coming back around the All-Star game. Who knows? I think Al Horford will be around. You mentioned Kristaps Porzingis. Got a couple quotes here from Bobby Manning. Doctors are trying to help as much as possible, but it was just some lingering fatigue. Even right now, I played 11 minutes, but I'm gassed. I could just lay down here and take a little nap easy. Many symptoms that were super weird. To Jay King, Porzingis said nobody really is clear on what he's going through right now. They tested his heart as well as for other illnesses. Asked if he has long-term concerns. He said he doesn't think so. He just thinks some rest is good for him. I will say, Sam, like he was very nonchalant about it, and he thinks he'll be fine. But he thought the same thing after the ankle injury, and he was physically fine, I guess. But lingering fatigue is my middle name from Ben Vallis in the chat here. It's hard to not feel like the Porzingis experience or what we dealt with Porzingis was maybe at the top of the list of why we're talking about the end of the Celtics season right now.
Definitely is. I mean, if you have Porzingis for real, like he is a game changer. I actually, before I hopped on here, wrote for Houdini about like what he said, but like also like a brief, like I don't think everyone should shit on him on the way out if he's done, because I think he was legit good here. Like helped them win the title last year. He gave like extra reinforcement to the big man rotation, so Horford was able to be durable in those playoffs last year. Came back in the finals, has a legendary game 1, tears the weird ass ligament in his ankle and plays through it and gets the surgery, and then, mind you, comes back a month earlier than he was supposed to. He wasn't bad, I don't think, off rip. He definitely had like reconditioning. Hello, Andrew. Good to see you. Happy for you. And Tyler Kolek. And that's where the list stops.
Okay. Sorry, Andrew. I'm not going to ban you, but I'm wearing.
No, don't ban him.
I'm just kidding.
Friend of the
I banned
program.
so many Knicks fans after Game 4. I was like, I usually let people hang around, but I was like, everybody gets one. There's no strikes. You give one comment that I don't like, and you're out. But I'm more benevolent today.
But like when he was healthy, he really was a game changer. And like, listen, like, is it somewhat true he only had one good playoff game? Sure. Like, wasn't good in those playoffs. Don't remember any of his games from the Miami series, so he couldn't have been that great. It stinks. It stinks he never really got an opportunity to perform on the big stage, but when he was performing, he was pretty good. And he gave them that extra offensive wrinkle where they could throw him the ball at the high post. He could go to work. He would make the laser threes. He had really fun moments. Like, he had a really great game against the Knicks in April. It just didn't count.
It did not count. I almost don't want to do it, but let's just quickly look at Kristaps Porzingis' stats for the entire playoffs. Not even just the Knicks series. Do you want to guess how many points per game he averaged?
Is he like 4 for 4 from Wendy's?
I don't know. I know that the Baconator from Wendy's is good. But that reference kind of went over my head. Is that 4 points?
He's like 4 points, 4 rebounds, like
All
right
right.
around there.
Okay. 7.7 points, 4.6 rebounds, actually much higher than I thought. Less than an assist per game. 31% from the field, 15% from three. And maybe like just the cherry on top. 68.9% from the free throw line. That was like it was like he was actually kind of able to get to the free throw line a little bit. But he kept missing the fucking free throws. And again, Porzingis, I feel terrible for you, man, and for not that he's listening. I feel so terrible for him. Like, he clearly loved being part of the Boston Celtics, or loves being part of the Boston Celtics. The crowd loved him. The moment he gets sliced open twice on the face, bleeding all over the court multiple times.
Comes back twice.
Comes back twice. Like, I'm not questioning his toughness because, like, he came back, dude, and played in game 5. Like, he's trying to fucking play, but he got this mystery illness and it's been impacting him since March. And the fact that it popped back up again, it's crazy because he was playing awesome down the stretch, man. He was 20 points per game, incredible efficiency. He had like the best 3-point shooting season of his career, if I'm not mistaken. He shot 41% from 3 this year. Best 3-point shooting season of his career on the highest, one of the highest volume seasons as well. And he made, I saw a stat in the chat here. Greeny tweeted that KP made 6 total field goals in the series. Like, Jalen and Jason deserve a lot of the blame, and maybe most of the blame for games 1 and 2. But if Porzingis is like if he's just half as good, if he was if he was as bad as Jalen and Jason were compared to their normal standards, then they win games 1 and 2. Right? Like,
yeah.
He was so bad. Like, they were bad, but he was a disaster. Again, I feel bad talking about it, but he was so far below his standard, and he was so destructive on both ends that they just needed a tiny bit more margin of error. They just needed like 6% more from him in those 2 games, and they are up in the series. And yeah, we said it all season long. To go back to back, we were gonna need the Latvian god, and we've had these things in the last couple of seasons. Latvian Moses, the Bear Slayer, the Latvian god, like. We essentially just didn't get even a slither of it in these playoffs, and especially in this series. And I think that, sadly, that's probably going to be what we remember him for.
Yeah, I mean, look, if Porzingis gives you like the light version of like the poor performances you got from Tatum and Brown, right? Like let's say he's at that level, like you said, he's still able to give you some extra layer of offense that you didn't have. Where I think when Porzingis is able to score for you, that is not your best late game offense. That's not what I'm saying. But like if you're trying to milk clock, that is one of the most under control possible ways that you can do it, because you're able to put pressure on the defense. You're able to use gravity just by getting him the ball at the free throw line. And then they have to do extra work. They couldn't do that in this series. It was a joke. He would turn around, he would get pushed around, and he would throw it off the back of the rim, or worse.
It's crazy, man. He was the most efficient post-up player in 2 straight seasons, and 3 straight seasons if you go all the way back to the Wizards season. I'm not sure he was the most efficient in that year, but the last 2 seasons as a Celtic, and they're completely gone. It was a huge part of your offense, and even tonight he had that play where he got the post up on Brunson. They scrammed him out. And instead of just making the very obvious play, get it to Jaylen Brown, who now has Jalen Brunson on him, he forces up a terribly contested mid-range jump shot against OG Anunoby. And this Brian C, like the regular season post up stats don't translate to the physicality of the playoffs. Like I agree, and you've seen it. We've seen it with Shea. You've seen it with Brunson's efficiency. All these guys. There's such a wide gap between what he gave you in the regular season and what he gave you here, right? Like that's what I'm saying. We're talking about a chasm, like an incomprehensible chasm. When the playoffs started, you're like, oh my god, we got KP healthy. We did it. Even in Game 5 against the Game 4 against the Magic, he had like 19. He had 20 points on what did he have? 20 points, 19 points on 7 for 14 from the field, 2 for 4 from 3. And I was like, okay, that's a sign of things to come. We're going into the Knicks series, much better matchup, yada, yada, yada. And it got just catastrophic. And Missoula exacerbated the problem by going to him over and over and over again. And so, like, blame Pi. I don't want to blame Kristaps Porzingis. I want to blame the illness. The reason the Celtics lost the series is, I would say, directly attributed to the illness. And maybe that's the best way to frame it.
I think that is the best way to frame it, actually. It's very fair to him. I don't think he should be at fault for trying to play. Like, if you want to blame somebody, blame Missoula for not, like, reading the room on maybe he's not going to be effective. But the fall-off was just unbelievable. Like, I don't think anybody could have predicted the type of inefficiency we saw, the weird change in the post-up effectiveness, like, all of those things. Because, like, let's not pretend like Porzingis is a post scorer because he's really good at being physical. He's good at being tall. And his signature post-up move is to turn and be taller than the other guy and just shoot it. Like, that's how simple it is for him. In the paint, at the free throw line, doesn't really matter. That's what he does really well. The weird playoff part of this was he never was healthy, and even up until, like, early April, he was playing better ball, I guess, but he said, like, in post-game interviews after balling the fuck out, yeah, still don't feel that great. And personally, I was like, whatever, I guess he's doing fine, battling through it. I guess it flared up again. It got him. It caught up to him. He used all of his good games up in the window after he came back from being sick. I don't know. But when he finally came back from that sickness and it was still lingering, he was balling out. He was playing really good. So I was shocked to see it have this much of an impact on the way he was able to affect playoff games.
Yeah, it was catastrophic. And Missoula's, I don't know, inability, refusal to go to Luke Cornett in Game 2 and Game 4, I think really cost the Celtics. But at the same time, Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum are the guys on this team, and they were maybe the number one and number two reason, I guess. Although I guess if I have KP at number one, those guys were right behind as the reason they lost game 1 and 2. Missoula played a huge role in that as well with like some of the decisions. But at the end of the day, it's like Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, just win a couple more times. And I'm sure Tatum would probably agree with that, and Jaylen would probably agree with that. Unfortunately, it is what it is. Derek White comments here. We got the full comments. I love playing with the guys that we have in the locker room. Just a great group of guys that compete at a high level off the court. Have a lot of fun. I think that's what I'll probably be the most proud of, being able to say I put on a Boston Celtics uniform. You kind of scared me on the show earlier by being
he scared me. He put out a shorter version of that.
Yeah. So I think that reads as just like he's just generally proud to be a Boston Celtic, and I'm genuinely proud to have him play for my favorite team, the Boston Celtics. And I saw in the chat like Derek White had a bad series. Derek White was 20 points per game in this series, 5 rebounds, 2.5 assists, shot 40% from 3. He missed a bunch of shots in the first couple games though. And again, he was, he got 13 3-point attempts in the first 2 games. and didn't knock down enough. And sometimes it's like as simple as that, man. They just missed too many open looks in the first 2 games. And Derek was at the top of that list. It's like, hey, bro, if you tell me before games 1 and 2 that I get 13 3-point attempts for Derek White, I'm like, those are W's. That's like a great indicator that the Celtics are winning these games because he's such a good shooter. I know against this Knicks defense, you're going to get good looks. And they did not enough of them went in.
Yeah, it's crazy after like the complete opposite in the first round where it was like Orlando's like, no threes for anybody. Nobody gets threes. They had the Forrest Gump scene where they had their leg braces break off so they could just go into a full sprint shooting threes in game 1.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work out for them. I can't believe it. Like, if you went back and watched the fourth quarter in both of those games, the threes would be shots you were fine with in a vacuum. Yeah. You're just like, yeah, sure. And I know not all basketball is played in a vacuum. Like, I know sometimes you do have to read the room and you do have to go some other avenue and you do have to be able to kind of force the issue or get to the free throw line or whatever it is you're going to do to change your own luck. New York did it in this series. New York did not play that well offensively for a lot of these games, and they kicked ass and they got on the boards and they got themselves extra opportunities, which created really easy looks. Sometimes you got to do that, and I don't think it should be like a maybe the Celtics don't want it bad enough type thing. I just don't think that's what their identity is and the math is. But when Derek White isn't able to be Derek White in those moments when he's been clutch all year long, so much so that like there was a moment I was like, what if he's just clutch player of the year? Because he just elevates everything in the fourth quarter. It felt like he never missed in the fourth quarter all year. And then the first 2 games of this series, he's not able to make some of the momentum open threes to stop the runs.
It's tough. But again, game 5, incredible. I think that I'm very comfortable and confident with Derek White on my basketball team. I've seen a lot of people talk about they think that Derek White's going to be gone because of his trade value. Like, I think you could get, like, does someone offer you a Mikal Bridges package? And then, because I think that someone could do that. Like, if the Knicks had traded for Derek White instead of Mikal Bridges, they would have been a lot better because Derek White's much better than Mikal Bridges. And then it's like, do you get 5 first-round picks? And then does that make sense to do? I don't think so because then you just use those picks to trade for someone like as good as Derek White. Like, the price you paid for Derek White when you originally acquired him is different now because he became a much better shooter and a much better player. So you get these 3 or 4 first-round picks and you just hope to trade them for Derek White. Again, would be the plan. So I don't think so unless there's a real problem with trying to get off the money with Drew and Porzingis. If that becomes a real problem and the owners are just like, we're not paying this much, and it's like, oh, I guess we're trading Derek White, that is something that I think could happen, but I don't think will happen because I think that Drew Holiday does have value. But yeah, I don't know. Do you think that Derek White's going to be still here?
I never even entertained the idea of it, and I never really thought about what the kind of return would be because I kind of just forgot like how Bridges ended up on the Knicks. Like, I didn't, but like the haul they got with draft picks. Listen, look at the CBA. Look at the fucking vice grip it has on everybody. Teams are terrified. The Celtics are terrified. They're going to like lose pieces of this team that, like, in any other situation, you would probably want to run it back if you weren't worried about getting handicapped further, losing draft picks, not being able to trade draft picks, and so on. But you're going to do it because you don't want to be strapped for what you can do in terms of roster moves. Draft picks will allow you to work around that. It'll allow you to add cheaper talent, guys that don't make $20+ million. They will be on rookie contracts, and they still might be able to contribute. Having those, I don't know if it's worth Derek White. Derek White, in my opinion, is not expendable because his contract is so valuable in terms of the production you get for how much of your cap it takes up. It is 1,000% worth having on the roster. Like, you cannot justify trading that, I don't think. If you want to that is just as valuable as the rest of the draft picks would be towards
exactly, yeah,
like efficient roster construction. The other 2 guys, I like them. But if you need to get rid of him for that reason, like, that is more understandable because I love Drew. He's one of my favorites, but I don't think he's giving you $34 million worth of production. You're just not asking him to do that for you. So it's not really worth it. It was just a luxury you had.
Yeah, I think it's, and I'm going to talk about this specific fact a million times probably between now and draft night in the offseason, but the fact that this team is this good and this expensive and they won a title and they still own their own first round pick this year, plus the 33rd overall pick from the Wizards, second rounder, their own pick next year and their own pick the year after that, 26 and 27. They own all three of their picks, 25, 26, 27, is a masterclass from Brad Stevens for a variety of reasons because it allows you to keep taking swings on younger talent, but it also means this year, if you like are having trouble offloading Drew or Porzingis, so you can attach the 28th overall pick or the 33rd overall pick to help you massage some of these deals, which is really huge to have in your back pocket. I think someone's going to take Drew, but these deals may not be perfect as far as like getting under the aprons and stuff, but having extra assets, like the Bucks are fucked and they have to trade Giannis because they don't own any of their picks until 2030. 2030. I still can't even wrap my head around how fucked that situation is. Like they have basically either two options: be Giannis and veterans minimums, or blow up or trade Giannis. It's crazy. So shout out Brad Stevens for giving the Celtics this like not two timeline thing, but like a lot of flexibility and maneuverability so that they don't have to trade Derek White.
Yeah, you don't want to trade Derek. You just don't. Like, that is a guy that is just going to be so valuable for you. These draft picks are valuable. I would prefer that they do not have to attach them.
Yes,
because one, it's just really good for content. It's like, oh yeah, look at this new guy that's in summer league. We'll talk about him.
Two new guys, maybe that would be fun.
Two new guys would be awesome, and you kind of need it. And you have the flexibility. Like, if there was any year to like keep your draft picks, this is it. Like,
this would be the
there's
year.
room for error. This is going to be like an actual place where young guys can try and prove themselves. I think a little bit. Like, still going to be a fun team. There's still going to be winning ways within the system and within the ecosystem, I guess. Like, it's not. It's similar to when like Jalen was drafted, and Jalen was the 3rd overall pick, but he came off the bench and had a minor role and learned how to be a winner from like Isaiah, and then they have the turnover that year, and then he has an even bigger role the next season. So young guys are going to have the opportunity to come in and have a small role and learn and see how these guys work that are at the top that have won championships before, and it's going to be valuable to them. I think Shireman could have a really great jump. Not like he's 24. Like, let's not pretend he's 20, but you still learn. Like, he's physically like able to defend and stuff. His game could probably use some sharpening.
Hit a playoff 3 today, Baylor Shireman.
Huge one. Cut the lead down to 35.
Chris Paul, shout out. Last question, Sam. Appreciate you staying up with us.
Anytime, seriously.
Stealth tank. Assuming Jaylen Brown, Derek White, Peyton Pritchard, Sam Hauser, Luke Corner, Al Horford are still on the team. It was okay. Well, 2 questions because Ben Vallis just asked this one. Do you consider a JB trade if it includes Jalen Johnson? Not for me. I think Jalen Johnson's awesome, but again, the hope is that he just basically turns into Jaylen Brown. That's an interesting one. I'm not sure why the Hawks are doing that. That's definitely an interesting one, though. He's really good. You would?
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think Jalen means too much.
Yeah. I think so as well. I think it's like Cooper Flag or a surefire top 10 player. Otherwise, like, nah. It's
I saw the Cooper news come out today that they interviewed him, which I guess is standard practice, but I was like,
I think so, yeah.
I was like, if they hadn't won Game 5, this would have been a lot more fun.
I'm pretty sure if like that's happened before, like in multiple seasons where they've interviewed top 5 draft picks, and it's like that's just what people do is like for potential future conversations or whatever. The stealth tank question. those 6 guys I talked about, can you load manage Jaylen Brown to 55 games and only 30 minutes per game? Can you get Al Horford to play 50 games and Derek White to play 65 games at less minutes? And you're playing all these young guys. Whoever you draft, the 2 guys you draft, it's like the 2 guys you draft, Walsh and Shireman and Cater, are taking a ton of minutes, and you sneak out of the play-in essentially, and you give yourself a Dallas Mavericks type chance at the top 4 pick or a top 1 pick, and not even necessarily the chance at the top 5 pick, but drafting someone at 12 to 16 is better than drafting at someone 16 to 22, essentially, right?
Yeah, and it could be helpful. I don't know how I feel about the late lottery guys. The fear I have is we've seen the Celtics get those guys before, and Nesmith, to his credit, has turned out to be a good player for the Pacers. Romeo
Very
Langford,
good. No.
Different story. So, like, do you want to sacrifice happiness for Romeo Langford? I don't think so. Would you do it for Nesmith? Still not sure, because you have 2 guys that are really good in front of him, and you would have to trade him for him to be effective somewhere. Like, I think the Celtics' best route to finding young talent is either going to be like catastrophic tank and they get AJ from Brockton, or it's like you hit on the late picks like a Baylor, who we don't really know what he is just yet, but he's kind of fun and has played pretty decent ball when he got real running this season. But like Jordan Walsh hasn't been like a smash hit as much as you guys love him. Like,
oh man,
I don't think Joe likes him. He doesn't really play him.
I don't think so.
It's weird. So these draft picks are all such a shit show, and especially knowing Joe and how stubborn he can be at times. Like, I don't know if I would sacrifice like a joyous, like, think about like the joy of an expectationless season next year.
Yeah, totally. But I'm onto that Joe point. I'm already pre-mad at the first game where Jaylen plays like 39 minutes, Al Horford plays like 35, and Baylor, Shireman, and Walsh get like a combined 26 minutes. I'm like, dude, I want to win these games too, but we gotta get the priorities in line here. You have to try and develop Walsh and Shireman and whoever you draft this season. And it's a big season for Joe. You're not going to have Jason Tatum. But Sam, lots of questions. I'm sure we'll talk a lot over the next 6 months until the season starts, and then probably talk a lot the 6 months after that as well, which I look forward to. But Sam, I'll throw it back to you. Any closing remarks? Anything to plug? Go ahead.
Well, sad that we're done so early, but make sure you check out How About Them Celtics. If you love Jake and I, we're there in the morning because Jake filled in for Jack tonight. Always much love to Mr. Claudio. Very great guy. Congrats to your Knicks. Hope this is your last one of the season.
I said the Knicks, man. I think I banned all the bad ones in the 3-hour drunk stream. So we've only because even Nostalgia Nick in the chat's been kind.
Yes.
But yeah, shout out.
There have been good ones this series. You know, they're not all terrorists, but a lot of them are. How About Them Celtics? Jack and I are doing new videos every day. Full pods come out 3 times a week: Tuesday, Thursday, Sunday, and we'll have something new every day in the summer. So if you just feel like thinking about the Celtics, we're here for you. And also Hardwood Houdini. That's where I'm at now. Jack, me, Bobby Kravitsky, we're all running the ship there.
Hell yeah! Love to see it. Love to hear it. Sam LaFrance, it's been a pleasure. Everybody in the chat listening, it's been a good season. It's been a good few seasons. Yeah, man, sucks, but thank fuck we got Banner 18, man, because those things are hard to get. Till next time, go Celtics.